So maybe you have experienced those days when you think like, okay, my life is totally out of track right now. Maybe you're in those phases right now that you wake up in the morning, you don't even want to wake up. You say, okay, please let me continue sleeping life. Maybe also you reflect in those phases. I certainly do. You think like, oh my God, I'm so old right now. At that age, I wanted to be like so much further financially. Maybe also at the point when you're like super down, that you start numbing your pain, your negative emotions with alcohol, with drugs, with porn, with fast food. And those are probably the times when you even feel the worst immediately after those drugs and those fast food, those porn. I'm Dennis and I'm building my business in sales right now because I want to live free, travel the world. And right now we are in Latin America, Colombia. And yes, I will document here everything on YouTube, like the ups, the downs, the in-betweens, the rainy days, the sunny days, whatever we do here, whatever my learnings are. And those will be documented on YouTube. And yes, if this sounds interesting, consider subscribing and I hope you will enjoy the video. So I remember almost exactly like 1 year ago, 12 months ago, I was in the worst times of my life. My life was really fucked and I had to unfuck my life because I was already working for my own business for years, but my business failed. So I was in debt for 15,000 euros. I had to move back in with my parents. I moved out in 2018. Now I was living with them. I had no money. I was super lonely and I was still like working because I tried to build my new business and another business. But of course you don't see results at first and it was grinding. And also I was lonely because in the small town where I'm from, there are almost no girls. So I had no girlfriend and I really didn't really feel love. And really I thought, okay, I had the tendency to be depressed. I also looked up on the internet, okay, what are signs of depression? I said, okay, this sign could be true. Okay, this sign not so much, but okay, this other sign also. And I think I had confirmation bias. I looked for the signs that I could have depression because I was feeling super bad. At some point I hadn't had any energy anymore. I was like, I wanted to work, I wanted to continue grinding and working, but I just couldn't. I also documented this on YouTube here. I shared this here. This was really a time when my life was fucked and I had to improve it. So the very first thing that I can recommend you from this time, what my learnings were, is that you can get disciplined, or you should get disciplined with your addictions. Because it's in those phases when we are like, of course, we have a down phase, when we are feeling like our life is fucked, that we are most vulnerable to our addictions, because the addictions is what gives us pleasure, like mainly the only source of pleasure right now. But also at the same time, it's immediately after the addiction when we feel the worst. We feel even worse after the addiction. Often, this is what I learned from my mentor, an addiction is not so much that we are addicted to, for example, eating the pizza, but it's more that we are addicted to the emotion. As humans, we are addicted to emotions, and we want to feel the same emotions over and over and over again. And the ego brings us in the position that we want to feel, or that we make decisions that we feel the same emotions over and over again. Why does the ego want us to feel the same negative emotions? Again, it's simple, because the ego gets its power, let's say, from us experiencing or living through the negative emotions. Then it's when the ego is the strongest, then we are more, basically the ego has more power when we have it's the payoff for the ego. And this is why it's so important to get disciplined on those addictions that you might have, and get aware, okay, this is the ego right now that wants me to do the addiction again, because then it gets the payoff, we feel bad afterwards, and the ego gets stronger. Number 2, strategize. So what is the moment when we feel, okay, the most that our life is fucked or that our life is not in the right track? It is when we're not really having positive reinforcement, not any positive feedback from life. What I would do is ask ourselves, hey, what is my actual goal right now? What is my goal that I have? Reflect on my life and then think, okay, how much am I actually doing? So the phases when I was feeling super bad, super low, it was like I realized, okay, I wasn't really doing much. I thought I was doing much, I was busy, but I wasn't very effective. I was not doing a lot of things for my goals. So if you ask yourself the question, hey, what am I actually doing for my goals? And the answer is not much. Then it might be a good idea to say, okay, what are my goals? Clearly define them, of course, and then break down the daily action steps so you know every day what to do. You don't sleep in super long, because unclarity what to do is the biggest killer of productivity. Because just like we're just floating around, we don't know what to do. So, okay, if I don't know what to do, why not sleep in a bit more? Because we don't have clearly defined what our goal is and what we have to do and what we will not do. Like, I will not eat the fast food because I have a clear goal. And as a little addition, I think it's often that we are also uncontent or unhappy because we know deep down inside, okay, we could do more. We have our goals, we might do something, we're not very productive, and we know we could do more. Are we really going 4 to 6 days a week maybe to the gym? Are we really working after our main job maybe on our business? Are we really taking at least 30 to 1 hour a day to learn something new, to improve for a better future? Are we really doing this, or could we do more? Is there still some free time that we waste maybe with bullshit, with jerking off, with video games, with, yeah, you know what I mean. Number 3 is to raise our standards in all areas. So a standard is like, okay, for example, how often am I going to the gym? So how many days? What type of quality clothes do you wear? Do you wear like good quality clothes where you feel well, or do you wear like only underwear, like bad quality clothes? The standard of your food. Are you eating healthy? Are you eating unhealthy? Those are standards. For me, I realized that it helps if we just increase our standards in all areas, because first of all standards are connected. So one standard, if we raise one standard, it affects the other standard positively. Our emotional state is also a standard. Are we often in a positive mood? Are we often in a negative mood? Also, those standards affect each other. For example, if you're in a super negative mood, in a dirty room, and then we are, let's say, okay, all of a sudden, like magically the room is super clean. Nothing else changed, but just because one standard, the room, is higher, this will affect our mood positively. So what we have to do if we are in those bad moods and we realize and we get conscious again, okay, all of our standards are low, make the conscious decision like, okay, I might feel super bad right now, but I will raise my standards, all of my standards right now, because I know, okay, this will affect my mood and this will affect all the other standards and this will bring me back on track. Alright, number 4 is practice gratitude, because when are we like most vulnerable to thinking that our life is fucked up? When we have no positive reinforcement. And when are we most like to feel awesome and like, okay, our life is great? When we have much positive reinforcement. The thing is, who is saying that you do not have positive reinforcement? I'm pretty sure it's you right now. So what I want to say with this tip is that, like, if you think you don't have positive reinforcement, create your own positive reinforcement by looking at all the things that you already have achieved. How many, if you're in business, how many business deals have you already closed? If you're starting a YouTube channel, how many YouTube subscribers do you already gain? Because at the beginning, I know every single subscriber is a win and it's hard to achieve or hard to gain a new subscriber. If you're in fitness, every like little bit of muscle that you have is an achievement and you should be proud of that. As a little addition, I think it also comes down to the mindset that we always think, okay, we can only be happy if we have achieved X. We have to be like that rich, or we have to have that much muscles, we need to have that many women in our life. Whatever it is, we think, okay, we can only be happy if we have achieved that. The problem with desire, because this is a state of desire, right? Okay, we desire money, we desire women, fame, YouTube subscribers, whatever. The desire is like an energy that is never satisfied. We always need more and more and more and more. For example, I thought when I was like 14 or very young, okay, I will be happy and cool when I have a six-pack. I think it was 16 I had a six-pack. I wasn't muscular, but I was super lean, so of course I had a six-pack. And I was still feeling like shit. So yeah, and you had probably many of those experiences yourself. So this is like a proof for yourself, okay, it will never be enough. Alright, number 5 is fix the basics, because again, most success in life is coming from doing the basics over and over and over and over and over and over again. So if your life is fucked right now, if you think, okay, I need to unfuck my life, I'm pretty sure you're not very consistent in the gym right now, you are not very good with your nutrition right now, you're also not good with your sleep schedule right now, you're not going to bed early so you can wake up early, and also your social life is not in order, that you go out, you speak with people enough, socialize. Maybe it's just if you're super shy, at least go meet some friends, that you come out of your apartment, your dark apartment, see the sunlight again and socialize with them, because we're social beings. It's always positive for our mood. They can drag us up again, they can motivate us to go to the gym and to get the other things in order. So this is like probably not what you're doing right now. You should consider doing that. And this is the last thing I would recommend you. Sometimes life is tough, sometimes life is super hard and harsh. There's nothing where you should beat yourself up, because it's a sign that first of all, okay, you're human, but second of all, if you're watching a video like this, other videos similar to this, it's a sign that you haven't given up, you haven't given yourself up, because you want to change something and you have some goals that you still want to achieve. You're not living through the day because you say, okay, and you don't live in acceptance with the negative state. No, you want to change something, and this is something that you should be proud of. But we have to remind ourselves, okay, if we have this down phase, which is normal, the only thing we cannot do is quit. We have to continue, and if you continue even through the hard phases, then there will be up phases. After the sun comes the rain, after the rain comes the sun again, and the same with the winter. After winter comes the summer. This is the saying, and it's so true. If we still continue, if we always improve, really, this is what I think. In 10 years, there will be that we will have achieved our goals, because 10 years time, it's so much compounding. But if we give up in 10 years, our life will be shit. Our life will not be where we want it to be. Our life will always be staying in this down phase and going down and down and down. That's not what we want. We want our life to be great. This is why we're here. This is why we're improving our life. And yeah, I want to thank you for watching. And maybe we'll see each other in a great mood, or maybe still in a bad mood but improving in the next video. Buenas noches.